Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Midnight Hunt draft here on the channel. My name is Nikolai, and in this video, I am going to be taking you pick by pick and play by play through a Midnight Hunt draft, talking through all of my decisions so you know what to do when you draft Midnight Hunt. If you enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more, and leave a comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. You can check out the Twitch stream live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. We have opened up an absurd rare, Reckless Stormseeker. So, when you play this, you can make a 3/3 haste, just because you can target itself. And then if it flips, it just starts making all of your creatures into monsters. And if it's already nighttime, by the time you play this, it's a 5/4 haste, trample for 3. So this card is fantastic, makes all of your other creatures better. There is, unfortunately, a Moonrager Slash in the pack, which is probably the second pick. So we're passing a great red card, but that's not going to stop me from taking a really good red card. Other than that, Vivisection is actually pretty good in this set because you can sacrifice a random zombie and then it's just a 4-mana draw 3, so that's very good. Lunarch Veteran does really well in the white decks if you can play it early, so I like this card as well. Nice little value engine because you can get the back half as well and gain some life. And then Flesh Taker, pretty reasonable card, but it is gold. I like Vampire Interloper a decent amount as well. So I think in this pack I go Storm Seeker followed by Moonrager Slash. I like to take monocolored cards, so I'd probably try Vivisection, then the Veteran. And then maybe take Vampire Interloper. Okie doke. Moving on to pack 2. We see that the rare is not particularly playable. It just doesn't do anything. The next card I look to is Livia's Midnight Ambush as a very good removal spell. And the third card I look to is Shadow Beast Sighting, which is a really nice way to get late game value in a green deck. This card's quite good. The Midnight Ambush is solid, but it is sometimes finicky to use. And then there's just the 2-drop Harvest-Tide Sentry if you really want to get aggressive. The Silver Bolt is good and will make a lot of decks better, but I have found that my decks have not been short on playable. So I think I'm going to take a little bit more of a power pick here. I think I'm going to try the Shadow Beast Sighting. I've already played Olivia's Midnight Ambush a lot. I know how good this card is. Playing against the Shadow Beast Sighting, it felt very good to me, but I'll have to get more experience against it. And I want to try this card out, I think. So I think I'm going to take this card over the Midnight Ambush, though I would not fault someone for taking that. And then maybe I would take the Bolt as just a flexible card. Okay, moving on to pick 3. Does not look like red is super open. We're not seeing any good red cards in pick 3. We didn't see any good red cards last pack, so maybe the person passing to us is in red. We need to be willing to move off of this card if it's not open. Blade Stitched Scab is a card that I really do like. I think this card is powerful. It makes all of your zombie cards a lot better. And it kind of fits exactly with what Blue-Black wants to do. But I really don't like locking myself into a 2-color pair this early. Another card I like is this Cathar Commando. And the fact that it has Flash means that I can play it with the Stormseeker and help it turn to nighttime while still developing my board, which I really do like. There are some green cards like the Pestilent Wolf, but I think this card's a decent amount better than the Wolf. There's also Falcon Abomination, which is a good card for the blue zombie decks that can use the Decayed token. Which maybe we're supposed to move towards because we see this Scab as well. But I like getting a cheap card. I like just taking the 2-drop here. Okay, moving on to pick 4. If we had taken the blue card, we could have taken something like Revenge of the Drowned. But I've actually been pretty impressed by the Duelcraft Trainer. Granted, I've only played against it like twice. But in those 2 times, it was pretty scary against me. It felt like I had to deal with it or it was just going to start just taking over. And I did just take a white card. There is also Revenge, which is a reasonable blue card. And then there is Duel for Dominance, which is a nice, solid green card if I'm playing some, big creatures like the Shadow Beast. Oh yeah, Duelcraft Trainer also works really well with Reckless Stormseeker. I can stack the triggers so that this thing gets bigger and gains haste. Good point. Excellent call. I like that. So I like the Duelcraft Trainer. It is a 4-drop. I already have one 4-drop, but maybe I don't even end up playing green. There's also the Tireless Hauler, reasonable 5-drop, but I would rather take a cheap card. I think Trainer is just a very powerful card. Okay, moving on to pick 5. I do like the Celestis. My last draft I had it, and it did a lot of good work. It helped me splash. It helped me make sure I didn't flood. But that was in a slightly different deck where I had a very, very powerful late game already lined up from flashback stuff. And I knew I was going to splash. Whereas in this deck, I'm probably going to try to play 2 colors. I would have to imagine. In most cases, I would try to play 2 colors in this sort of build. Where I'm trying to attack and play my commandos and stuff like that. There is a duel for dominance. That could go well in this deck if I am trying to enable things. Maybe I would try to splash the Stormseeker, but I would rather try to splash off of like Evolving Wilds and things like that. I think here is between Duel for Dominance and Morning Patrol. I do kind of want to try the Morning Patrol, and I am taking a lot of white cards, so I'm going to try that. And now there is still some good blue cards. There is a Jack-O-Lantern, which is a reasonable way to splash. But I'm just going to take the Harvest-Tide Infiltrator, I think. Maybe go for a red-white aggro deck with some werewolves. Still some blue cards. The Jack-O-Lantern is intriguing, but I don't need to play green. I've seen a couple of good green cards, like the Duel for Dominance. This could be good in this sort of deck. But I'm just going to take the Infiltrator, I think, over the Jack-O-Lantern. Wow. Well, this is a really encouraging pack. Candle Trap is a reasonable white card, and then there's 3 solid red cards. I think I actually like the Thermo Alchemist in this deck because it's like a 1-power unblockable that can sometimes do a little bit more. And it plays really well with like my Coven cards. There's also Immolation, Candle Trap. But I'm just going to take the Thermo Alchemist. I will still have some instants and sorceries. And the fact that it's unblockable is really nice. And it helps with my Coven stuff, so I'm going to take the Alchemist. Immolation and Candle Trap are close behind, though. And now we get a Lamphold Harrier. Great little 2-drop. Looks like we're moving towards red-white, which is really nice. I've tried to maybe slightly bias my picks towards it. We have a couple of 3-powered creatures, a couple 2-powered creatures. And I think this card's quite good. I don't know how we're going to be able to use this card because we can't really particularly trigger it very well. Because we're not going to have any sacrifice outlets. I might want to play one anyway, just for the swings. I don't think I want Neonate's Rush. I'll just take the Siege Zombie just in case I audible. Because the 2-drops are the most important element. Silver Bolt is removal. Festival Crasher can go well if I get some instants and sorceries. I don't think I'm going to struggle to find playables. But I don't think Festival Crasher is really what this deck wants. So I'm going to take the Silver Bolt. Maybe try that out. Okay. Fine combat trick. Not the best, though. This card is more of a sideboard card, and I'm playing best of 1. Just in case. I'll take the Pack Betrayal. Maybe I'll want it. Okay. Wowza. Just absolute bomb rare in red. This card's fantastic. 4-mana 4/4 flyer is already just fantastic, and then you can sometimes just like start chaining through your deck. I do only have 3 red cards. I mean 3 white cards. Keep that in mind. So I could still move into any color combo. And my best cards are all red, so we'll just keep that in mind. This card's also fantastic. It would have been a good pick if there wasn't a bomb rare in the pack. The last draft, you'll have to watch on YouTube to find that, TCOM. Or the Twitch one. I don't want to give any spoilers. But it was a sweet one. Okay, so this is a pretty clear Moonveil, followed by Fangblade Brigand. Followed by Thermal Alchemist, I think. I could still play a bunch of different colors. I only have 3 white cards, so just keep that in mind. I could still go a lot of directions. Okay. I really kind of want to take the Immolation here. Let's look at the curve. So, I don't think I would play Path to Festival in any version of the deck. Siege Zombie is my only black card, but, I mean, 3 white cards. I think I just take Immolation here. I don't really want to splash. Rock Veil, Fall Veil could be good for my Shadow Beast sighting, but it didn't seem like green was open really necessarily. And red did seem open. Yeah, the Chaplain is solid, but I'm currently trying to focus on just red cards because I know I'm playing red, and I'm not 100% on my second color yet. Like, if I got past a blue card, like, absurd blue card here, I could take it. Okay, so now I get to take the Fangblade Brigand. This card's just great. There is some good white cards here, so I would have probably taken the Gavany Silversmith and just committed to white over the second Immolation. The Brigand is fantastic. There's also just Trapper, Lunarch Veteran. They're both reasonable. Farmer's solid as well, but I don't think green was open pack 1. Black might have been open. Okay, I'm just going to take Evolving Wilds. None of these cards are particularly great. Like, this card's solid in the right deck. This card's, like, okay. But Evolving Wilds just helps my mana be more consistent, and limited mana bases are notoriously weak. So this could, like, potentially let me go, like, 9-7-1 or something like that. Or 8-8-1 or whatever. I'm very heavy red. Yeah, Evolving Wilds is a nice pickup here. Slogurk, the Overslime. Well, we're taking Lunar Frenzy here because this card is bonkers. There is a 2-drop, but Lunar Frenzy is fantastic, so I really want to try it out as well. Slogurk. Oh, that's really hard to use in this sort of format. I do have the Evolving Wilds combo, but I can't really use that anyway. Lunar Frenzy is really good, especially with Dualcraft Trainer. That could be a really cool combo to go for. But I think I really want to try that card out. I think it's better than the Lambhole Terrier. Ding, ding, ding. Sunrise Cavalier. I'm excited to play. Welcome to the red-white team. Let's just say that. It's good to have you on the squad, Sunrise Cavalier. We have a decent number of daybound, nightbound things. We have some Disturb. Red-white's going to be a good home. Would be interested to try out the Candlegrove Witch. I don't have a ton of 2-drops, but I hopefully can get some more. But I'm just going to take the power pick here. Speaking of the 2-drops, ask and ye shall receive. The Candlegrove Witch is here to play. Excited to welcome you to the squad. It's a great squad. We're building the Boros deck. We already have 2 fantastic rares. And good uncommon. Welcome, Candlegrove. Ooh, this is an interesting pick. Burn the Accursed is nice. It's a removal spell for like pretty much anything, and I don't have a ton of removal right now. I have Immolation and Silverbolt right now. So this card's nice for that. This is a nice top-end card, but I don't really need to prioritize that. And I don't want that at all, so I'm just going to take the burn. Burn, baby, burn! Whoa. Well, this is the wheel. Another burn came around. I do have 3 removal spells already and 2 combat tricks. So a creature could be nice, but I don't really want another random 4-drop. I don't really need a random 5-drop creature, so I'm just going to take another burn. Just random green card just in case. Immolation. So my deck is really shaping up here. This is why I didn't really care about the Silverbolt, because I'm probably going to be able to get there on removal. The card that's like a 5-mana, 6/5 Trampler could just be like really devastating in the right spot. So I've got 0 power, 2 power, and 3 power, and 4 power right now for my Coven stuff. Got a lot of playables. I could even try this Pax Betrayal. So the Ruffian, there's also a Voldarin Stinger. Gives me 1 power, which I don't have a lot of. But I don't really have any synergy with it. Like, I don't have cards that care about me hitting them, so I'm just going to take the Ruffian. Another Pax Betrayal. And last pick, Vitality. Could potentially be playable. Okay, so in this pack, we're not taking the rare. There's a Gavany Silversmith, which I like, and there's also another Lunar Frenzy. I kind of want to just take the Lunar Frenzy and try it. Like, with double Lunar Frenzy, I obviously won't need any Stolen Vitalities. And it gives me a great, like, mana sink. Silversmith is fantastic, don't get me wrong. But this card seems really good as well. So I'm going to take this over the Silversmith. Okay. And now there is Homestead Courage to try out. That card could be really useful for enabling Coven. How many Coven cards do I have? Or also flipping it from night to day, because you can double spell with it really easily. I have 1 Coven card. 2 Coven cards. I kind of want to try the Courage. I don't think this card's particularly good. So I'm going to try out the Homestead. And now we get a Lunarch Veteran. I like this card. It gives me a one power creature, which I don't have any others of. And it also gives me something to do with my mana if I do need it. And it gains me some life for if I'm playing a racing matchup. Overall, just a nice card. tough pick here. Moonrager Slash is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but Lambholt Harrier is also great, and I kind of have removal covered. I think I still take the Moonrager Slash. 13 creatures. I'm gonna take the Harrier. I just want more creatures. The way I helped come to that conclusion was like, oh, maybe one of the 2-drops will wheel, but then I was like, wow, if both of them wheel, I'm gonna be really happy. I also have this Silverbolt, and I was thinking that Moonrager Slash was just gonna be replacing Silverbolt, which isn't a meaningful upgrade. They're never gonna control more creatures than me. So I'm just gonna try this Blessed Defiance maybe, but I don't think I'm gonna play that either. Maybe I just take the Voldaren Stinger to try that out. Potentially. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna need it. Candlegrove Witch pretty easily making the cut here. Another 2-drop. Again, I just really wanted to make sure I got to 6 2-drops. So I think 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops. Only like 2 new packs to go. So pretty nice to make sure I lock up 6. 6 is just a good default number to go for. Wow. Lunar Frenzy number 3. There is another Candlegrove Witch. I certainly don't need the removal spell. The Witch is fine, but Lunar Frenzy seems really good to me. I've been taking them aggressively. I'm going to keep doing it, and we'll see how it performs. Not going to need that. Okay. So we've locked up our 6 2-drops. Another Candlegrove Witch could have been the pick, but again, I'm just trying this card out, and having 3 copies, I'm going to get a lot of reps with it. Okay, Clarion Cathars can single-handedly enable Coven. Probably better than the Tavern Ruffian in my deck. So, looking at this deck. Crazy effigy. I don't need any combat tricks, that's for sure. I would take this for the sideboard if I was playing best of 3s. This could be a 16 land deck. I do have a couple 5-drops though, and some decent mana sinks with the Harriers and stuff. The Ruffian's the only card for my sideboard that I would consider. I guess the Stinger maybe too. So let's look. So this is our build right now. 17 land seems fine. What with the Fangblade Brigand to pump user mana, we have 3 of this thing to just dump mana into. Well, Darren Stinger +2/+0. Attacking. I don't love this card. It's very kind of win more. So not win more, but you have to be aggressive to do anything. And I don't necessarily. I can like grind through a couple things thanks to this thing, and maybe just ping them and use Lambholt Harriers. I don't think I want to spend mana on that. 2 more cuts. I really want to try Homestead Courage. I want to keep my creature count high though. I think I need to cut one of my 4-drops. I think this card's really good for enabling my couple of Coven cards that I have. Ruffian does work really well with this thing, though. I'm not cutting a 2-drop. So let's just sort our cards into the piles again. So, I could go like Shave and Immolation. Immolation's also good with like randomly like buffing up a card and then using Lunar Frenzy. Using the 0-powered guy / Pinger is nice. I just really like this card plus Lunar Frenzy. Like, it becomes a 6/5. That's so big. I like Burn the Curse for helping me flip my werewolves. Hearing Cathars. I could cut this into an immolation. And try it like that. Or cut this and add back the immolation. I kind of like this. Keeps all my creatures, which I really need for my Lunar Frenzies to work. I'm going to try it like this, and then I could see myself changing things up after I play a little bit, but I really want to see how the Tavern Ruffian goes with the Lunar Frenzies. And I have a pretty even mana split. I just need my 2-drops early, so I'm going to go 8-8-1. That's going to do it for the build, though. I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those at the credits level. It is thanks in part to the patrons that I'm able to continue dedicating the time and effort needed to keep our community growing and thriving, and so I'm very grateful to the patrons for helping me do so. If you become a patron, you can even gain access to my card-by-card tier list for Midnight Hunt, which is a great bonus resource to help you gain a leg up on your competition. Patreon is transparent, it is easy to use, and it can be canceled at any time if your circumstances change, so there's no long-term commitment. If it sounds like something that will be of interest to you, it really does help the channel out a lot, and I highly encourage you to check it out at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. We have a good hand here. 3-drop, 4-drop, pass turn, 5-drop. Top decking a 2-drop would obviously be the best. We'll also get to see how good this is. Ooh, we have the dual craft trainer. That's good with the trampler. That's scary. Okay, so they're attacking with both. I have to block. I don't want to fall too far behind if they have like one removal spell. It's a tough block to make, but if I don't block there and they kill this creature, I just lose the game. Not that there's a ton of ways to kill it. So maybe I should have just not done anything because red-white can't kill a 3/4 very well. I guess later in the format I would know that better. I just generally think like, oh, if they kill my 4-drop, I just lose the game. I don't want that situation, so I'll just chillax here for a second. Oh, so exactly, I was right. Would have been very bad for me. I would like to just get my creature down before I do too much here. I also don't want to enable their werewolves, potentially. Punished. So this card is literally just like won them the game, but with its like trinket text of dealing extra damage with damage spells. Good to know. Oh, I have to kill their guy. Kind of like losing single-handedly to this rare. That's just how it goes sometimes, though. Whoa, something happened. Chat, what happened? It probably popped up on the screen. I can't see. Magic is hosting me with 1 viewer. Thanks, Magic. Come on, Tavern Brawler. I'm dead. So it would become nighttime. So if I top deck my werewolf, it would be good. Yep, I just lost to the fact that they played a card that made their removal spells absurd. Like, they just did 2 mana kill my 4-drop, 1 mana kill my, like, 4-drop, and so I just couldn't keep up with that. If you take that rare out of the equation and just replace it with a normal 3-drop, I'm in, like, totally okay shape and I can win that game. But that's how it goes sometimes. On and upwards. This hand is fantastic. Oh my gosh. This is really where we get to see what our deck is made of. 1, 2, 3, Lunar Frenzy. Wow, they didn't block. This guy must be really important to them if they're not blocking there. That's what I'm going to say to that. I don't think that was worth it, buddy. Well, this is totally broken. Like, we're just crushing them right now. If they don't have a board sweeper, we just win. Okay. It's minorly annoying, but not the end of the world at all. So I can just do x equals 0 and then get my 2-1 into play, but that'll just trade there. Or I could go x equals 1, 2, 3. That'll be 6 damage. Or I could do x equals just the full 4. X equals 2, spends 3 mana, so yeah. I could do x equals that. That does 3 to them. 4, 5, 6, 7. So they go to 9. And then I can play this Harrier. I can see now why they kept this Thermo Alchemist alive. It's like enabling their cards in a pretty substantial way. Nice. So if I bump this thing, I hit them for 6, so they have to chump it. And this forces them to chump with something, because if they don't, they'll take 3, 6, 8, 9. No, because they get a free block there. So if I attack, I have to attack with this guy as well. So they can go eat this guy, chump. Or they can go eat this guy, chump, take 4. No, I don't want to meet the line. This forces them to chump. Yep, I know. You need another removal spell, I think. They can't make it unblockable. It makes some creature unable to block. So if I hadn't suicided the 1/1 last turn, then they wouldn't have had to chump with Thermo. Got there. Boom. That's how the deck is supposed to play.
Tavern Brawler is just maybe not very good. Lunar Frenzy's probably just fine with my small guys, and I can cut the Tavern Brawler for my removal.
Okie doke. On the play. No 2-drop. Can't cast any of my spells. I hit a land, I can cast the Cavalier, but that still doesn't give me a 4. I'm going to mulligan this hand. It's really a close one. Because if I hit 1 land, it's pretty solid, but I need to hit 2 lands to do anything, and that's just too high risk for me. Fortunately, we have to mulligan again. Sure. So we can maybe jank them out with this thing being massive. Yeah, or I can just get rid of that and then just have this flip potentially. Should have just waited on that, but it doesn't matter. I'm planning on playing it no matter what. That's unfortunate. That's just unfortunate that we didn't draw a mountain there to get this guy down, because that was our big hope, was that we could flip this thing potentially. There he is. One removal spell and we're toast. And we beeth toast. Wow, they're copying my avatar and my sleeves. The only thing they didn't copy is me mulliganing to 5. It's okay, we got him. Nope, and they totally have me. I'm toast. No! They 2-for-1 themselves, though. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, that's so tough. Our avenue back into the game. This was like one of our best draws. Still have outs. Our Cavalier. Our Cathar guy. Get double strike. This is why I keep so many borderline hands, by the way. Like, I didn't want to keep that last one, because I think our deck can just do better hands, where I don't necessarily just auto-lose to missing a land. Lunar Frenzy has not been super scary. is just a combat trick. Though I'm not going to blame that loss on Lunar Frenzy. More so just couldn't do anything. I mulled the 5 and then draw lands. I could have done some stuff differently. I've not been super impressed with Immolation. Gotta be said. I think I've wanted the big removal spell more. My little creatures do a good job of trading with the small stuff thanks to my combat tricks and just good pressure. I think the deck is good though. I mean, that last game's kind of like when you mulligan to 5, your odds of winning are just so low that it doesn't really. You just play such a weird sub game of like, well, maybe I just have to pretend they don't have anything, which I didn't really play that sub game particularly effectively, where I should have just probably gone for everything. This is a good hand though. I'm going to get a plains. No, I'm going to get a mountain because I need to double spell to Lunar Frenzy. Okay, so they're playing a nice defensive deck there. 2-drop. Max punished every time. No matter what I do, I get punished. Okay. Oh, no. Well, there's the card I needed. We're just going to get this guy going. We're getting back in it. One Sunrise Cavalier at a time. You have got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh. They just have like some of the most busted rares in the set. Please attack with that lane. They won't do it, obviously. If they do, it means they have a combat trick of some kind. I don't understand how I always have to deal with this, like, random, insane nut draw. It's so frustrating. I just don't get to play a lot of the time when this happens. Yikes. So Lunar Frenzy verdict is not very favorable right now. But, you know, that's why you experiment with cards. Because every time you're behind, Lunar Frenzy just looks like a joke. Should have done that on their turn so I could flip it. Mistakes have been made. I should have just waited till their upkeep to do it. That was a bad play. Spawned by frustration. Yep. Hmm. Well, I'm just dead. I've been dead ever since turn 3. Oh my gosh. I take 2 here. They tap this. I take 1 more. I go to 4. I could have played X equals 5, but... That could be a card that lets me win. I forgot I had that in my deck. Not gonna lie. No, I just want to chain spells and have a chance at winning. Why would you deny me this incredible opportunity, deck? It would have been so fun. Imagine how sweet it would have been. Yep, Lunar Frenzy, shocker. Huh. I feel like I also had bad draws, to some degree. Wherein I felt like I got nut drawed a couple times, and I did not really have the best draws. I don't know. I would have to watch back through the games to see exactly how it worked, but I felt like I never really curved out. I had one loss to this, like, absurd curve where they literally went 1-drop, 2-drop, like, best possible rare to have it turn 3. And then I had, like, a couple of, like, a clunkier hand where I had 3 drops and I drew this on turn 3. I only drew my dragon once, and I didn't really get to use it because I was already dead. I forget how I lost my first game. I remember I lost to this one, and then I lost my mulligan to 5, obviously. I think I lost my very first game I played with the deck, and they just, like, out-aggroed me with something. Where I had, like, a media... Oh, it was the deck where they had the Falconwrath Perforator that I made the trade with the 3-2, and they just had that 2-3 flyer that just, like, completely dumpstered me with their, like, removal. Yeah, they had that absurd, like, 2-3 flyer that just wrecked me. So I kind of lost to a couple of rares that were pretty good, and I mulliganed to 5. So I don't know if I can really evaluate this deck as good or bad. Lunar Frenzy didn't really feel that great. I was excited to try the card, but I feel like this deck really didn't come together as well as I would have hoped. I might have needed to play the second... I feel like it might be a good card as a one-of in a deck, but a better version of this deck would just be something like that, where I don't have as many Lunar Frenzies, but I have, like, some interaction, like Silver Bolt and Immolation, so that I can, like, stop my opponent's, like, bonkers rares before they take over the game. And this one, like, still has a high creature count, but instead of the Lunar Frenzies, which are only good when you're ahead, I have, like, an option to, like, take out their creatures. Like, if I could, like, top deck Immolation instead of having that Lunar Frenzy, I could have killed their Vampire Interloper, or something like that. And so I feel like this is a good learning experience where it's like, well, the Lunar Frenzy's not actually that good. Like, the one game I casted, I spent, like, 3 mana, and it was pretty okay there. The flexibility is nice, but I don't think the card is, like, anywhere near, like, broken or anything, because it still is a combat trick that's really, like, not really something you want to use on defense. And when you only want to use a card on offense, it is more narrow. But I will say the game felt a little bit like the games were tough. It was not my like luckiest run, and I did some experimental stuff as well. That was not optimal, it turned out to be. So I think this version of the deck would have just been better, more interactive. Interaction seems very important in this set, and so it's good to learn from errors and things like that. And so don't like I feel like a lot of the time it's like, well, the deck lost, so it must have been bad. But I think this one could have been slightly better with some tweaks. I kept drawing Lunar Frenzy when it would have been bad, so just learning about that card is nice, because it is an uncommon, so it's hard to get enough reps with an uncommon to really come to a verdict. But I'm going to be a lot lower on the card moving forward. I thought it just looks really good, but good to be aware of. And then I just had some tough draws, so good to be able to bounce back from that. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. And if you do make it all the way to the end of the video and you want to let me know, leave hashtag lunar peace, because peace is the opposite of a frenzy, or calm, hashtag lunar calm, to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video, because that's the opposite of a frenzy. We weren't really frenzying, we were kind of a calm, take the damage, get hit by the opponent type deal. So yeah, leave that hashtag to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. It's always cool to see who makes it there. I wish we could have gotten to play with the Moonveil region a little bit more. I really liked how we drafted. Not evaluating this properly did lead to some slightly weaker cards that I could have taken, but I am overall very happy with how we drafted. Remember to hit the thumbs up button. Oh, I already said that part. Oh, if you want to find more stuff, you can support my work on Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Find my Midnight Hunt tier list. Lunar Frenzy certainly going down that list a bit. You can also, in the description down below, find links to NicolaiBolas merchandise, the free NicolaiBolas Discord server, my articles, and a bunch of other cool stuff. If you have Amazon Prime, you can support my work at no extra cost to yourself. Simply link your Amazon account and your Twitch account. Subscribe with Prime Gaming, and that helps me continue to make videos, and it resets every month. So if you have done it in the past, you can do it again, and it's a great way to like help me continue making videos. And if you have Amazon Prime, it's included. Yeah. Overall, going 1-3 never feels great, but I feel pretty happy with how I performed in this draft, and overall like learned a lot. So really a valuable experience overall. Hopefully you found it valuable too. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.